This is Big Ten basketball. UCLA getting the tip, gonna start things off. It's Ledgerwalker. Wild pass allows Battle to sneak in there. Collision, no call, things are still going. Some boos in the crowd, but play on.
This UCLA team is incredibly physical defensively.
Graholski opens it up with a smooth three.
Picking up right where she left off in that big upset win versus USC. Grace Graholski has been on fire from behind the three-point line.
Yeah, she's one of the players that a lot of people have been saying need to have a great night tonight.
If you're just tuning in, the #3 ranked UCLA Bruins against the Minnesota Gophers. Two different type style of teams. The Minnesota Gophers prefer to play very controlled pace, a very consistent tempo, where UCLA likes to play incredibly fast.
So Hawkes turning it over, gives it back to Minnesota. Battle on the dribble, pops from the elbow and swishes it through for two.
Amaya is someone who's going to have a big game here against UCLA. She's a difference maker for me. When she plays well offensively, the Gophers play well.
Ball moving around the horn. Skip pass. Neepkins giving it back to Rice to start out the offense. 5 seconds left on the clock. Rice giving up Ledgerwalker inside, and it's Betts off the glass for two.
And there you saw what Lauren Betts is capable of, the shot clock winding down. There's not many players in the women's college game you can throw a rim alley-oop pass to that can catch it with such ease like she just did.
Yeah, 6'7", everyone. I mean, how could she not? Battle again, putting it up, getting the bounce. This one drops. Another deuce for Battle. Trying to find Lauren Betts underneath. This ball goes back to the Gophers. Gophers up 7-2, 7:55 left in the first.
UCLA picking up in a man-to-man full court pressure here. Glenn stepping into the starting lineup in that Tori McKinney absence. Guarded by Minnesota native Neepkins, played her first 4 years at Utah, is back here at Williams Arena for the first time ever in her collegiate career.
Braun feeding Sophie Hart. Off the mark this time. She had quite the performance in the last matchup against USC. But a quick fly from Ledgerwalker gets them back within two.
This UCLA team incredibly gifted offensively. 4 out of their 5 starters averaging double figures.
Rice able to pick the pocket, coming the other way, lays it in. Tie ball game. 7 apiece. Grace Graholski bringing it up. Battle over to Hart. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Battle with it again on the dribble. Finds Braun, less than 5. 3 seconds now. Braun has the contact, throws it up, no call.
Again, you're seeing the physicality of the UCLA defense on that last possession.
Quite the transition, Marissa. They get it up to Betts for the go-ahead bucket, 9-7.
At 6'7", she's incredibly mobile, running rim to rim, as you saw in that last possession.
Graholski on the baseline. Looking to go 1v1. Trying to back her down, using some of those post moves. This one doesn't fall. Back to the Bruins we go. And quite the transition game they're pouring on. 11-7.
Great job by the Bruins, converting turnovers to points on the last 2 possessions, scoring easily in offensive transition.
Last bucket from Hawkes. And now sending it out of bounds, gives it right back to UCLA.
You can see how Betts disrupts the game with her length. Amaya Battle, unable to even see her teammate who she was throwing that skip pass to. Amaya Battle is not someone who turns the ball over often. So for her to turn the ball over just tells you how difficult it is to play against a player like Lauren Betts.
Now the Gophers having such a low turnover rate throughout this season.
They lead the nation in lowest turnovers per game at 10.4, the Minnesota Gophers.
Rice giving it up. Neepkins off the back iron. Underneath. UCLA continues to work. It's Dugalich for 2.
UCLA on a 9-0 scoring run the last minute 54 seconds. Finding their pace and tempo here.
Grace shot fake. Pulls again. Top of the key. It rims out. Rebound from Neepkins. Ball inside. Lauren Betts against Tonga. She kicks it out. Look how fast they're swinging the basketball. Rice on the dribble, going in. The contact, nothing. Grace Groholski coming away with it. Glenn using the Tonga screen. She'll go towards the basket, but pull it out. Probably a good decision there, Marissa.
Yeah, UCLA switched the ball screen. Betts was guarding Glenn, and Betts is not someone you want to dribble penetrate against, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's something that the Gophers have been thinking about as they take on UCLA. 12 on the clock, just 6 seconds on the shot clock. We'll see if the Gophers are aware. Mara Braun trying to get it inside to Tonga, but a kicked ball.
We saw it on the last defensive possession by UCLA, but even with a 6'7" post player, UCLA is capable of switching all 5 players on the perimeter, which makes it incredibly hard to come up with an offensive strategy that's going to work against this team. Typically, when a team has a 6'7" center, you can bring them out on that high ball screen and get them really uncomfortable, but that is not the case with Lauren Betts.
And Glenn going in 2 seconds short off the iron, and Lauren Betts, the tower, picking up the rebound. And a quick 2-point conversion here. Dugalich getting up the court and making the Gophers pay. The defense swarming the Bruins all over. But Braun moving it to Groholski on the right wing. 5 seconds, she'll get inside the lane. Looking to body her off. Gets a shot up, but no good this time.
UCLA is just so tall.
And an offensive foul. Gophers able to get in position. 3:03 left, 15-7. The Bruins are up.
As you saw here, Finau Tonga got tangled up a little bit with Lauren Betts, called for the push-off there. Talking about UCLA's height, the shortest player on their team is 5'10".
I know, that's, we don't even want to talk about my height. When I think about that, standing next to that, wow. Mara Braun getting it inside to Sophie Hart, going up against Lauren Betts and bouncing out. Sophie Hart almost able to go up and over.
And talking to the coaching staff before this game for the Gophers, they talked about how the Gophers are going to have to make incredibly smart decisions offensively when shooting the basketball. And you can see Sophie Hart made a great decision there. Took advantage of Lauren Betts lowering her hands defensively and was able to get the shot over the towering Lauren Betts.
Shot clock again winding down, 10 seconds. Glenn on the right wing, drives inside the lane, spins around, has it knocked out. And a loose ball, shot clock expires.
Gophers really struggling to find their flow offensively. UCLA is disrupting everything they're trying to do, switching those ball screens out on the perimeter. You can see here Briley Glenn just got held up as that shot clock expired.
Ledger Walker bringing it up for the Bruins. Glenn almost tipping it away. Neepkins over to Ledger Walker, inside to Betts. Betts swinging this one outside. Dugalich tried to get it right back to her, couldn't.
The Gophers are going to be successful in this game. They have to take advantage of these turnovers and create them some points off the turnovers. They're a miss by Mara Braun.
Yeah, good idea going inside out. See if that becomes successful later on this game. Hawkes over to Betts, that short jumper, no. It's like UCLA picking up the foul. It's Dugalich. But Lauren Betts has been doing better with those outside jumpers. That one not falling for her, but we might see some down the stretch.
Yeah, and watching her year over year, I'd say that's one of the biggest improvements in her game from last season to this season is she's more consistent in her outside jump shots.
Sophie Hart, short, but the Gophers fighting for the rebound, trying to stay here on offense. It'll stay Gopher basketball on the jump. So Gopher ball underneath, just 3 seconds over a minute left in the first quarter. 15-7, UCLA on top, ball inside to Grace Gracholski. Using her post moves, picks up the deuce.
Grace Gracholski, a post player in high school, and every once in a while we see glimpses of that former post life. Gophers breaking a 7-minute scoring drought with that field goal made.
See what momentum comes from it. Hawkes got it inside to Dugalich, but now they're swinging it around. Able to drive and kick now with Rice. But Glenn gonna pick up the personal.
Kiki Rice, such a quick first step there. UCLA did a great job of moving the ball around the perimeter. As you can see, Neepkins to Hawkes to Rice, and then that crossover dribble.
That might have been Glenn's way of saying happy birthday. This is her present, getting to go to the free throw line, but happy birthday to Kiki Rice today. She puts in the first of 2. We'll see what happens on the second. Puts in both, 2 for 2 from the line from Kiki Rice.
Bruins continue to have just token full court pressure, not putting a ton of pressure on the Gophers, just trying to slow them down, setting up their offensive set a little bit.
Time ticking down, 10 seconds. Gracholski coming up. Left wing 3. Off that front iron. The time will expire here in the first. 17-9, the Bruins lead. We'll be back here for the second after a short break. Make sure you're tuning in with us. This high. Kiki Rice bringing it up for UCLA as we get going here in the second.
UCLA committed 6 turnovers in that first quarter, and I think the Gophers need to get some points on the board. They've got to convert those turnovers into points.
Ball off UCLA. We go for basketball.
You can see Finau Tonga. Active hands in the post, doing a great job. Lauren Betts brought the ball down, which is a cardinal post mistake. You always want to keep the ball high, especially if you're 6'7".
Tonga underneath. Off the mark there. 17-9. The ball on the far side coming in, Bruin basketball.
As if one Betts isn't enough, Sienna Betts has entered the game. Lauren Betts' younger sister, a freshman on this UCLA squad.
And an offensive foul. It's going to be picked up on Lauren Betts.
We'll keep an eye on that foul count for Lauren Betts, her second personal foul. It obviously helps the Gophers run their offense a little bit more easily if she's on the bench in foul trouble.
Yeah, you'd think part of the Gopher game plan, making sure they took it to her, trying to make that happen. Tonga up and over.
Tonga, being an undersized center, does such a nice job with her pivoting, creating space for herself, as you saw over the 6'4" Sienna Betts on the last possession.
Rice getting it inside to Betts.
A little bit of a defensive miscommunication there by the Gophers, which we don't see very often with this incredibly consistent and fundamentally sound Gopher defense.
Tonga, double team for a moment. Kicks it out, battle. 3 attempts, short off the iron. But Grace Graholski coming up with the rebound. This offensive set continues. Tonga, short off the rim. Something the Gophers did well in their last matchup against USC was their poise when shots weren't falling. Seeing a little bit of that here early in this matchup.
Yeah, there's still a ton of time left in this game.
As Rice swirls one in.
We are definitely seeing why UCLA is 18-1 on the season and ranked number 3 in the country, shooting 82% from the field so far.
Grace off the Tonga screen, gets inside the paint, shakes a defender. Off the back iron, it bounces out.
To be shooting 82% against the team that has the lowest scoring defense in the country, again, just tells you how complete this UCLA Bruins team is. The Gophers held Lauren Betts to 6 points when they played at UCLA last season, but in talking to the coaching staff, this is a very different UCLA squad this year, more complete. They have a lot more outside threats from the three-point line, which makes it much more difficult to double team Lauren Betts.
And you saw the Gopher defense collapsing, allowing them to get this ball back. Mara Braun swishing in a silky three. Rice getting into Neepkins. Now with Dugalich. Long off the window. Braun inside to Hart. 1v1 over Betts. She gets it to go.
Strong post move by Sophie Hart. Coach Corey Close calling a timeout. The crowd here at Williams Arena loves it as the Gophers inch their way back down 22-16.
And here we go again. Ball with Dugalich, back to Ledgerwalker. They're moving the basketball around the horn, looking for the opening. 5 seconds left as Rice, motioning the offense, swings it over. Ledgerwalker at the buzzer, short. Battle able to come up with the defensive rebound. She's been quite good at that throughout the year.
Just a textbook defensive possession there by the Minnesota Gophers. Lots of communication, switching screens, staying on certain ball screens, resulted in that turnover by the UCLA Bruins. 9 turnovers already by the Bruins.
Sienna Betts picking up the personal. Ball back in with Grace Gracholski on the right wing. Gonna use the screen. Sophie Hart helping her move through the court. But back with Gracholski. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Spin around jumper in the lane, swirls out.
We haven't seen her miss many of those the past couple games, that's for sure.
Ledger Walker off the Betts screen. Neepkins gave it over to the corner and rattling it in here with Rice.
Kiki Rice is having a heck of a first half for the UCLA Bruins. 10 points on perfect shooting from the field. 3 rebounds and 3 assists to go along with her 10 points.
Battle inside to Sophie Hart. Gives it back to Battle. Battle up and in for 2.
No one makes a pull-up jumper look easier than Amaya Battle.
Yeah, especially from the baseline there. Ledger Walker. Wanting the tip. Out of bounds. Doesn't look like they'll get it. Gopher basketball.
Someone who's been relatively quiet for the UCLA Bruins is Minnesota native Neepkins. Played her high school basketball at Duluth Marshall. She's their second leading scorer, averaging about 15.5 points per game, and she has yet to score.
Glenn off the Tonga screen. Battle taking a look at who she can pass to, finding Glenn on the baseline. Off the rim. As the Gophers fight for the rebound, it goes out of bounds.
Lauren Betts continues to stay on the bench for the Bruins. The Gophers have to take advantage of that time when she's not in the game because she is such a disruptive player, both offensively and defensively.
Yeah, if you're just joining us, picked up a couple fouls and now has sat on the bench since. And racing her way at Ledger Walker, putting it in.
You talk about the difference between last year's Final Four team and this year's team. Ledger Walker is one of those. She was out last year with an injury, returns to the team this year.
Braun guarded by Ledger Walker, gives it up to Gracholski. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Able to kick it out to Battle, 4 seconds. Another jumper for Amaya Battle. She strokes it in.
Good ball movement by the Gophers. Grace Gracholski keeping her eyes up on that dribble penetration, able to see her open teammate Amaya Battle. Crowd is starting to get loud again here as the Gophers close the lead to 7.
Yeah, the coaching staff mentioning how much the fans helped them in that USC game, but Rice silencing the crowd with her put in just over the defender, but 29-20. Tonga double teamed, able to find Battle. Battle, no one on her. Off the rim, it doinks off.
Yeah, Battle might have thought about that one a little bit too long. Anytime you hesitate, always seems like it's a little bit harder to make those outside shots.
Now how much easier it is catching in rhythm, going up. But Glenn's defense, fierce. Almost forcing the turnover. But ball off the back iron for Hawkeyes. Gophers moving quick. Glenn, shot fake, drive, blocked.
Kiki Rice all over the place for the UCLA Bruins. She's a 4-time gold medalist with USA Basketball, a 2-time AP All-American. Not a bad resume for her either.
Battle, double team for a moment. Stretches the D, gets it to Sophie Hart, who banks it off the window.
Sophie Hart is at her best from that right block, able to use a dribble, go over her left shoulder.
Ledger Walker to Rice, swinging it around, Bilic. Rice with it, giving it back, Dugalich whooshes it in for 3.
This UCLA team just has so many weapons offensively, right? It's easy to shut down 1 or 2 scores. It's really hard to shut down 5.
Battle, shot fake, and off the glass it goes for 2. Bilic, now with Ledger Walker. The bounce pass, getting it inside. Hawkes went up against Grace Groholski. Looks like she's gonna pick up the personal.
See 2 forwards battling it here in the paint. This game has been incredibly physical through this first half.
Yeah, she looked pretty straight up in that last one, but Hawkes strokes in the first. 29.9 seconds in the second quarter as Hawkes goes 2 for 2. 34-24, UCLA on top. Not much time left in the second quarter. Glenn saw the tough defense and the tight defense swarming. She'll pick up the foul. That's Bilic. So the moments you see what the referees are calling, how do you adjust your play? Bilic.
Shot clock is turned off. Gophers can go for the last shot here in this second quarter. UCLA double teaming that ball screen hard.
And a long shot for Grace Groholski as Battle tries with the last moment attempt. It's 34-24, and that
speed and their length just becomes too much to handle in the second half for a lot of the teams that they beat.
Rice stripping it away on the run. Not falling for Hawkes. And luckily for the Gophers, are not able to convert that transition bucket. Grace Groholski back into Glenn. Look at a second try at it. They just started, but now coming up, still searching the first points in the third quarter. Groholski finding Battle. Into Hart, but off of her foot, it looked like it bounced up.
And Battle's bounce pass had just a little bit too much heat on it for Sophie Hart to catch.
And a personal foul getting picked up by Amaya Battle. Yasan Neepkins coming up there, but she'll head to the free throw line.
Yeah, Neepkins looking to score her first points here, averages about 15.5 points per game. She's shooting an impressive 54% from the field, 50% from the three-point line, and 100% from the free throw line in Big Ten conference play.
Able to pick up her first couple points here tonight. Braun on the dribble. Ledger Walker in her face. She'll give it up to Battle. Battle swinging it around. Sophie Hart, top of the key, but now on the move. Getting pushed by Lauren Betts, and that's her third.
Big foul there for the Bruins. Lauren Betts picking up her third foul here with the arm bar in Sophie's back. We'll see if Coach Close decides to keep Betts in the game.
And another foul picked up here on UCLA. This one going to go to Neepkins.
Gophers lining up in a 1-4 low set with a ball screen for Amaya Battle out of that option.
Jumper short for Battle. But the personal foul picked up by Glenn underneath, trying to go for that rebound.
Felt like the refs were letting them play in the first half. Game was quite physical. Now here in the second half, it feels like they've switched their tune a little bit.
And you said sometimes teams switch their tune here in the second, but also the referees. We're coming back in, and you saw that put in from Betts on that left side. We didn't see much of it in the first with her being out with foul trouble, but she's back.
Yeah, that high-low game, so easy to run with a player like Lauren Betts. She's capable of scoring with the defender in front of her or on her back in the post.
Hawkes going to the hole, bounces off the back iron.
Even if Betts continues to stay in the game, she can't be quite as physical. She has to keep a close eye on how she's playing defensively with 3 personal fouls.
Braun on the dribble, step back, attempt, no.
You have to wonder if fatigue is going to be an issue here for the officiating crew.
Ledger Walker bringing it up for the Bruins over to Rice. Rice all alone, putting it up, bouncing off the rim. You saw Grace able to close it out, enough pressure on her.
That was Rice's first miss of the game, believe it or not.
I don't believe it, Marissa, but I obviously have to. The stats don't lie. Mara Braun on the dribble, pops it from the top of the key, and it gets the deuce to fall.
Mara Braun patient there offensively. And what you just saw the Bruins try to do is something they actually do quite often with Lauren Betts. They look to throw a lob pass from half court when the defense isn't paying attention and catch the defense off guard.
This one not working out for UCLA. Amaya Battle on the dribble. Inside to Tonga, 1v1 versus Lauren Betts. Again, those 3 fouls allows Tonga to slide one in.
Tonga so good at creating space and using her dribble. Lauren Betts unable to be physical there and go for the block with her 3 personal fouls. Crowd is starting to get back into this basketball game again.
Betts trying to take down Tonga, but Grace Groholski's help forces the tie-up.
Lauren Betts spin dribble right into the Gopher help side defense, and Grace Groholski.
Rice turning the corner, left side lay-in.
She is versatile as a player, that's for sure. Able to score from the 3-point, dribble penetrate as we saw in that last possession.
Braun puts it up off the back rim. Glenn with the rebound, keeping the Gophers down here.
Gophers are winning the offensive rebounding battle 7-2.
Eight seconds on the shot clock. It will stay with the Gophers. Substitution coming in. Hawkes taking a seat as Dugalich returns.
Bruins going with a tall lineup here. Shortest player on the court is 5'10". Dugalich subbing in at 6'4".
Braun misses her attempt. She'll try it once more. That one also short. 5:58 left in the third, 40-28. It's Kiki Rice bringing it up. Gave it to Betts for a moment, got it right back, stopped up on the drive. Bruins will swing. Ledger Walker, 10 seconds. Over to Neepkins. Neepkins inside. Able to find Dugalich for the left side lane.
That's what makes UCLA so difficult to defend. They've got so much length and so many options offensively. If their first and second options aren't there, they can look to their third and fourth. And their fourth option on that play was a 6'4" post up from their bench player.
Tonga trying to kick it out to Braun. Braun will pick up the foul as Rice stepped in between. Kiki Rice crossed over the 1,500 career points. Also has 500 career assists. And multiple 100 assists in a season throughout her career. Dugalich picks up her dribble, skip pass over to Rice.
Sophie Hart and Lauren Betts getting physical down low. Sophie Hart did a nice job on the first attempt to go into Lauren Betts, picked up the foul.
12 seconds on the shot clock. Get it into Lauren Betts. Saw Glenn trying to help out. Rice driving and dishing Lauren Betts. Forcing Sophie Hart to pick up the personal.
Gophers did a good job stopping the first attempt by Lauren Betts. Here you see Sophie Hart D'ing up. Briley Glenn helping and recovering. Sophie Hart stepping up and help side, and Kiki Rice taking advantage for the easy dump to Lauren Betts.
Excuse me, that personal on Mara Braun. As Lauren Betts sinks it in. See the pressure picked up again, UCLA. Kiki Rice on Battle. Swing it to Gracholski. Driving to the hole. Pushes it out to Braun. Now Battle on the left. Gracholski with it on the right, 4 seconds. Driving inside the lane on the elbow. Doesn't get it to go, but gets her own rebound. Pushes it out to Braun. Now elbow for Braun, and she gets the bounce.
Great shooter's touch by Mara Braun. Great patience by the offense, the Gophers offense on that last possession.
Yeah, the elbow wasn't quite open for Gracholski, but she might have cracked it open here for Braun. Sophie Hart gets it in. Now Battle into Gracholski. 1v1, puts it up off the glass. The bank is good here at Williams Arena.
Grace able to score on all 3 levels. There we saw her posting up. She's obviously been prolific from behind the 3-point line this season.
Ball up from Dugalich off the mark, but Lauren Betts pushing Mara Braun to the ground to be able to put that one in for 2.
Crowd wanted a foul on that, but you know, 6'7" extended arms. It's tough to compete with that on a rebound.
Certainly. Glenn putting it up off to the left. The Bruins off to the races. Kiki Rice dishing it into Betts. It looks like 3 seconds going to be called on Lauren Betts. So indeed, the 3-second called in the lane. Looks like Lauren Betts put her hand over her mouth. She couldn't believe it.
You don't see many of those 3-second calls anymore. Still obviously a rule of the game.
Glenn picking up the dribble, finds Battle. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Hart dumps it in to Glenn to slide it through the net.
Riley Glenn always incredibly active without the basketball. The Bruins have prevented the Gophers from running a lot of their ball screen and roll offense that has been so successful this season.
Betts bounces it out short off the rim in the second attempt, but the third she gets it to go. You see her height coming in clutch this time.
Just tough to stop that at 6'7".
Glenn on the drive, but tipped away. Rice gets her fingers on it. On the run, she puts it in on the left side. Gophers get the ball up. Mara Braun splashes it in from the left wing.
She might have said a word or two to Lauren Betts there. She hit that three over her extended arms.
We'll let you fill in what those words were. Kiki Rice feeding in. Lauren Betts going against Sophie Hart. Inside to Hawkes for two.
UCLA taking advantage of the double team on Lauren Betts, reversing the ball weak side for that easy layup by Hawkes.
1 minute to go here in the third. Battle all the way to the hole. She kisses it off glass.
Gophers need to do more of that here the rest of the game. Betts with those fouls. She can't be as aggressive defensively as she normally is. Amaya Battle taking advantage.
12-point game. Hawkes had a 3 attempt. Lauren Betts underneath, no good, but now swarmed by the Gopher defense. She finds Rice. 10 seconds on the shot clock, 25 left in the third. Ball on the ground, Neepkins inside the paint. No. Battle. Moving it up, but pulling it back as well. 10 seconds. Ticking down. Battle off the mark. See if they throw up the last shot. Rice as time expires. Bouncing off the backboard. 51-39 finishes out the third quarter.
UCLA won pick in this year's WNBA draft.
She had 6 double-doubles we talked about earlier, and she is approaching that mark tonight. 11 points and 8 rebounds so far.
She's done all that in limited minutes due to foul trouble.
That last turnover by Tonga. Ball back with the Bruins. As Rice pops in, finds it from the left wing. Rice now up to 18. She leads all scorers here for UCLA.
both of these teams have players that are capable of leading them and scoring on any given night. We've seen that multiple times from the Gophers this season. Amaya Battle, Grace Gracholski, Tori McKinney leading them in scoring. Same goes for UCLA on any given night. Any one of their starters can lead them in scoring, which again makes teams so difficult to defend.
As Grace Gracholski beats the shot clock and gets it to fall. Great awareness by Grace Gracholski. Ledger Walker over to Dugalich. Looks like the Gophers picking up a foul inside. It's like on Tonga.
UCLA running an offense where they are running an initial ball screen. When the Gophers help off, they are then running a ball screen on the helper. Complex offense and very difficult to defend.
Kiki Rice drives and kicks. Ledger Walker coming all the way through. She draws the foul.
I believe that foul will be on Mara Braun, her third.
So we enter back into the fourth, 8:41, and Ledger Walker finds the first from the free throw line.
8 teams in the top 25, Washington, Oregon, and Minnesota all receiving votes. So 3 teams very close to the top 25. This conference has always been tough, but with the addition of Washington, Oregon, UCLA, and USC, it has gotten really tough.
Really tough.
Incredibly physical as well. Big Ten known for its physical play.
You hear the whistle, another foul picked up on UCLA. This is Ledger Walker. You saw her put in both of her free throws on the other end, coming back, picking up the foul.
And although this has been a physical game, the Gophers have yet to shoot a free throw. So UCLA doing a good job protecting the paint, now not allowing the Gophers many opportunities close to the basket.
As Hawkes flies in on the left side.
Got a stoppage in play here. Lauren Betts seems like she may be injured. She is walking off the court on her own.
So we see the personal foul picked up by Rice, as we saw in the replay. Yeah, I saw that also, Marissa. Lauren Betts looked a little shaken up. Ball inside to Sophie Hart, who draws the foul.
Gophers immediately going inside, taking advantage of the absence of Lauren Betts, getting the ball into their center, Sophie Hart, who draws the foul.
And now forcing Dugalich.
You can see Betts being tended to by the medical staff.
It's Dugalich's third foul. But Sienna Betts returning for UCLA.
Yeah. Teams thought they'd get a reprieve from the Betts name after this season with Lauren being a senior, but freshman sister Sienna Betts.
Inside to Sophie Hart, she banks it off the window.
Is also on this Bruins squad.
Rice, skip pass, finds Ledger Walker, driving inside the paint, feeding Hawkes, the reverse lay-in, slides in.
Hawkes moves really well without the basketball there. Little backdoor cut on Briley Glenn, taking advantage of overplaying.
Sienna Betts picking up the personal. We're out of bounds from Battle into Mara Braun, who puts down the deuce. 59-45, 7 to go in the ball game. Here in the crowd, get back into it here at Williams Arena. And Glenn with the quick hands, able to sneak in.
You can see how the Gophers defense adjusts when Betts is not in the game. They're able to show a lot higher on their ball screens. They don't have to protect the paint and help side nearly as much. Riley Glenn, active hands, getting the steal for the Gophers.
That's the 5th foul on UCLA. Send Glenn to the line.
So we'll be in the bonus here for the Gophers the remainder of the game.
Glenn misses the first. Still another attempt from the line. Able to sink the second, 1 for 2.
Lauren Betts has returned from the game, into the game, excuse me.
Gophers haven't had much time without her.
Not enough time, I'm sure, if you're the Minnesota Gophers.
After those early fouls in this game, she sat for a bit, but she's been back in it as Lauren Betts draws the foul and puts it down for the three-point play opportunity.
Textbook ball screen and roll by the UCLA Bruins. They're able to just throw the ball up to the rim. Lauren Betts, so tough to defend off that ball screen and roll.
Yeah, Lauren Betts showing the dominance down there in the post. And doesn't complete the three-point play. This one rims out.
Last foul on Hawkes, her second, will send Gophers to the free throw line in the bonus situation.
And Marissa, that puts a little hope in the Gophers' back pocket. Not a ton of time left in the fourth, but now going to be able to step up to the line, try to sink some of these free throws to come back.
Anytime the clock is stopped and you have the ability to score, it's always going to be in the favor of the team trying to make a comeback here. Maya Battles had a nice night for the Gophers. 12 points, 6 rebounds, and 5 assists.
And those couple free throws now have her up to 14. Amaya Battle leads all scorers for Minnesota. Ledger Walker. For the Neepkins. Neepkins inside to Betts. They'll swing this ball fast now with Rice. Time ticking down on the shot clock. 10 seconds. Rice goes to the hole. Able to draw the foul.
Kiki Rice timed that perfectly. Off the ball screen and roll. Tonga showed and then had to recover, and Rice waited until Tonga had to recover back to her player. Took advantage for the dribble drive.
You saw Gracholski looking to take the charge. She's been able to do that throughout the season. This time doesn't come up with it. Rice at the free throw line. Puts down the first. Now 3 for 3 on the night from the free throw line.
Tell you how good this UCLA team is offensively, shooting 62% from the field against one of the best defenses in the nation, 40% from behind the three-point line. Not easy to do against a team that is so strong defensively like the Minnesota Gophers.
Gracholski working against two. Gives it up to Glenn, now over to Battle. Skip pass, McKenna Christian. Now Glenn inside to Tonga, off the glass. She puts in the deuce.
Good patience offensively by Gophers and Tonga.
Tonga underneath will pick up the personal. So you saw Lauren Betts on the floor for a moment. But Tonga and McKenna Christian checking out. Betts sinking the first. Lauren Betts transferring from Stanford. Younger sister Sienna Betts not really wanting that when she was deciding to come to UCLA. Wasn't sure if they wanted to play together. At first, both the sisters coming up with the decision that they do, and they're glad they've been able to have the sister time playing basketball still, as Betts puts it in on the right side.
Good visibility by Dugalich. Sophie Hart was double teaming her, leaving Betts wide open, and Coach Dawn Plitzowite wants a time.
And we saw her take a couple hard screens in her last two matchups. Grace Kraholski, the 3 attempt, no good. Hawkes fed in Dukalich. They've given it back and forth to each other. Now ball outside. Drawing the foul yet again.
Fouls have definitely picked up in this fourth quarter. Bruins are visibly attacking Mara Braun defensively. She does have 4 personal fouls. You saw in that last possession, they were really isolating Dugalich. Mara Braun was defending her.
So Neepkins heading to the line. Again, from Duluth, Minnesota. We mentioned it earlier in the broadcast. But as you'd assume, she has some fans, I'm sure, here in the stands.
Yeah, rumor was busloads of fans were coming down from Duluth to see her play here at Williams Arena in her home state.
Glenn will bring it up for Minnesota. Doesn't use the Hart screen. She'll feed it in. Hart going to work against Betts. Up and over. She hooks it in.
Good move by Sophie Hart attacking Lauren Betts. Betts has been able to play this entire second half with 3 personal fouls.
And she picked up that quick one in the third, but has been able to hold off. So now you're seeing Hart. Excuse me. Turnover from Neepkins.
Bruins continue to pick up man-to-man full court pressure.
Battle on the dribble. Gets it out to Braun. Good ball movement by Minnesota. Finding an open Braun. This one rims out. Rice over to Lauren Betts. See Hawkes getting Neepkins. They get it down to 10, quite a bit on the shot clock this time. The same, but gives it up as Braun gets her fingers in there.
We talk a lot about Mara Braun's offense. She is an incredible defender as well.
Wide open, Glenn on the baseline, short off the rim. Braun, you're seeing how quick she's moving. She puts down the triple. I feel like she's got a fire under her feet right now. You can see maybe turning a switch on late in this game. trying to push.
Yeah, she's playing with an intensity and an energy tonight that I feel like we haven't fully seen since her freshman season.
.241 left in the fourth. Another timeout. 6 points for UCLA. On her birthday, Marissa, it seems fitting.
Yeah, giving herself a little birthday present, shooting nearly perfect from the field, 7 of 8.
It's Lauren Betts misses on the left.
Stung a little bit when I looked up her birthday to see her birth year be 2004.
I know, and anything is in the 2000s.
That hurts a little bit.
Able to put down the deuce. Gophers now up to 57. Rice sinking in the triple. She's still hot. Maybe the stove left on. Gophers attempt underneath, no good. 1:50 remaining in the matchup. Gophers defense getting in there, forcing the shot attempt. And now on the run, Mara Braun kicks it to Grace Graholski, left open. This one bounces off.
Grace a little bit cold from behind the three-point line, just 1 of 6. She leads the Big Ten in three-point scoring. But again, you have to think about the intensity of the UCLA defense too when you look at that stat.
Yeah, they've been swarming, sending a couple players on Grace Graholski throughout the night. So you see Rice trying to fight down the lane. Draws the foul, she'll head to the line. Rice splashes in. Still perfect from the free throw line. And she stays that way.
Statistically speaking, these teams were pretty even tonight. Big variances were in rebounds. UCLA out rebounding the Gophers 32-21, and then field goal percentage. The Bruins still shooting 60% from the field, Gophers shooting 42%.
That's good to mention. And fast break points, UCLA leading the way tonight. And I'm sure a little bit to do with not having Tori McKinney, trying to weather the storm, having her out with her concussion protocol.
Tori McKinney so good in the full-length basketball game from rim to rim, offensively and defensively. UCLA shot 19 free throws. The Gophers have shot just 4. McKenna Christian at the line.
On a Ledger Walker foul at center there. First one rimming out. Able to sink the second.
If you're the Gophers, you can consider holding this UCLA team to 17 fast break points a win. This is a team that likes to get up and down the court, move with a very quick tempo, and the Gophers were able to slow them down a little bit in that aspect of their game.
Rice on the move, kicking it. So you saw Haka's shot long. .45 left in the matchup.
Looks like Coach Plitzowite is appealing the most recent call. The refs called the ball out of bounds off of a Gophers.
Called on the court.
Appeal was overturned. Gophers awarded the basketball.
This ball rimming out, 30 seconds left in the matchup. Gophers didn't get that last rebound, but leading the offensive boards 11-8 on the night.
Coach Close calling a timeout to get some substitutions in here with 24.2 seconds to go. Kiki Rice had herself a night on her birthday. 25 points, 3 of 3 perfect from behind the three-point line, 6 of 6 from the free throw line.
As Hawkes flies in. Kraholski, step back, 3 attempt, short. Five seconds left, they'll dribble it out. That's the way the matchup ends. UCLA 76 to Minnesota 58. But a lot to be gleaned here from this game if you're the Gophers, despite the loss.
This is a very